I don't try to get emotional about this kind of stuff, but I'm trying not to take it personal. I just think it's the kind of the nonsense about it that bothers me. You try to think through things. You try to put yourself in the place of an owner or in the place of a baseball commissioner, and I just a lot of this doesn't make sense and hasn't made sense for years. Been following it for years, as you know, all the failed projects that John Fisher, the owner of the A's, has gone through all the times. Listen, they need a new stadium. That's been understood for years and years. He's tried, but it just the the kind of shameless way he went about it. And I'm not saying that the commissioner and the other owners have to say, "Oh, we are above all ethical things. We're going to hold you to the highest standards." We know that doesn't. It's for business. I get it. But even in the business world, even in whatever way you want to judge this on a practical way, this hasn't been done in any way that makes sense if you're following it. Just like, what do you care about? Do you care about having the best team, the best league, the best situation for fans you already have and have supported this team when it's cared about winning, which is not a lot over the years? When you explore exactly how kind of carefree they've been with facts over the years and how reckless they've been in their various other proposals. That bothers me. It's just the common sense of this is what I try to keep to in all things I write about. I care about the fans here. These are my readers. I grew up in Oakland for many years. That is something that hits me, but I try to pull that away if I can. I use that as a degree of this, and it's just the pure shamelessness of it. I think from the commissioner to the owner to the president of the team, that strikes me hardest, and it's been the way I felt about this consistently for at least 10 years, and this is kind of the culmination of it.
You're in it, okay? You've been in it. You've lived it from. You said you grew up there for part of your childhood. Now you're writing about it, and when Rob Manfred comes out yesterday with whatever the heck it was that he came out with, like it just felt. I'm not in that room. I read the transcript of what happened in the 22-minute interview, and tell me your feelings about it. Tell me your emotions about it, because I know I felt more angry. I wish I hadn't even read it. Like for baseball,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about for baseball, not even baseball in Oakland or baseball fans, just for baseball. It felt like he was giving me an answer and then he was shotting me in the ribs. So how did you feel about it?
Interesting that you put it that way. I kind of looked at it. I kind of stepped away and I said, "What would a baseball fan who is not emotionally invested in Oakland think about Rob Manfred saying, 'Oh, great, they had almost half an average attendance. That's great.'"
Oh,
It was for someone who's covered this. It was a direct shot at all attempts to keep the team and all criticisms of him, quite frankly, and all criticisms of his boss. That's what John Fisher is. It's never been more clear, right? That the owners are the boss of the commissioner. But I also thought, like, if I was somebody who didn't even follow this, that is transparently petty. It's transparently, a bureaucrat feeling, up in himself a little bit and taking a shot at a populace, at a demographic, at fans who follow baseball, who care about baseball. He should, at some portion, be protective of those feelings. And Rob Manfred was going the other way. And I could not believe how transparent he was, even with my low expectations for Rob. I do think he's smart. This is part of my surprise through all this. I've talked to him. He's been on the podcast years ago. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon again, but I think he's smart. I know what his job is, but so many other people are just better at saying, "I care about these things, but in this moment, we have to move on." Just say that. He was not capable of doing that without, yeah, as you said, throwing a dagger out there and having not even a subtle dagger. This was pissy. Is if I and a commissioner probably shouldn't be pissy about what a region of 2 million people, whatever there is in the East Bay, and probably larger than that if you count fans that are of the A's that are in other regions of the Bay Area. Beyond disappointing. I don't have expectations for this anymore. Certainly not for John Fisher. But that to me was just a signal for everyone else who might not have followed them through all their failed efforts in Laney College, in Fremont, in San Jose. I've named them a million times. They've said that Howard Terminal couldn't be the one. Then they said it had to be the one. Then they said Laney College is the one. Then they said the Coliseum. this has not been an Oakland thing for most of it. It's been a John Fisher thing, and Rob Manfred has been along for the ride, and now he's driving that bus. He's driving the bus to get the A's out, and he's using his, whatever the power of persuasion to show you that he didn't care a dang thing about actually getting it done in Oakland. And I guess that's sad. It's not surprising to me, but it's like he is just letting the world know where he was on this. And this is going to go down on his epitaph when he's the commissioner and it's over. He will be remembered for the way he handled this. And your reaction is so clear to me that this is the proper reaction. And to the, I've said it for the shamelessness of this move, and not trying to be emotional. And it does sound emotional, but not even trying to be. It's just the practicality of a commissioner acting like that when the team is ready to leave where it's been for 55 years, when the city did try to keep them. Pretty remarkable.
Which part specifically in the 22 minutes made you the most angry? Was it when
It,
he left, or when he contradicted himself?
well,
Or was there something else?
Yeah, he contradicts himself all the time. No, it was the reaction to the reverse boycott. He had asked about that, 27,000 plus. Oh yeah, okay, so they had half a average crowd. Wow, that's great.
Oh my gosh.
It's the belittling sense. It's the disdain he had for Oakland. Still has, clearly has had for a while. That he couldn't even pretend to be kind of an honest broker, and then we know he's not. But to have any credibility, he's got to at least pretend or give voice to some portion of, like, this is not good, that we're having a failed franchise with a failed owner run away in a desperate move that MLB set up for him to Las Vegas. Express some of that, right? Some of that, and going the exact opposite with that sarcasm, with that disdain. Again, I'm not surprised that this is the opinion of Rob Manfred. Certainly not of John Fisher. So we don't talk to John Fisher. And that is one thing Manfred has. He does speak to the media. I think he's alive. I've seen him. Can't say the same for John Fisher for many years, but it was just a little shocking. And I think that's the one that definitely picked up in the Bay Area. That's upset people, and just knowing people in the Bay Area and caring about people who care about the A's as as an entity, as something they brought their kids to, and they wanted their kids to come for years and years, and that's going to go away if they are approved for relocation. That's the part that pissed me off. That single part.